Not Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. 888-933-93. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Just some incredible things to share. Some of it actually heartening. Some of it will actually make you feel good.
All right, I need that.
Michael Shellenberger, who's a big climate change activist for a long time now, he is making some sense. Doesn't, of course, deny that climate change is happening. He does believe it's happening. But here's his heresy. He says it's not catastrophic. It's not going to kill us. It's not going to make animals and mankind extinct. Especially not mankind. I mean, extinction happens with animals, whether we do something about it or not. Sometimes they just go extinct. How many species went extinct while we weren't here? Several, I think. Several. Well, there's a lot of animals we could be sharing this planet with, but we're not because they're no longer around. So anyway, there's that. Then on the other side of the spectrum, there's Dr. Fauci. And Dr. Fauci is fantastic lately. He's been especially good lately.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
You don't think good applies here?
No.
Really?
No. Oh boy.
Huh. That's weird. That's weird. Also, the Chaz Chop area, whatever you want to call it.
Hell on Earth?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of people in it are calling it, too. And finally, I guess they got the attention of the mayor, and this attention has not been good attention on them. At first, they didn't care. It was great. It was fine. Oh, we're all about protests. Let them have it. That's fine. They don't want police right now. That's great. I'm sure it's a mostly peaceful demonstration here. That's all. It's mostly peaceful. Well, a lot of people have died and been raped and have had things stolen from them in this mostly peaceful environment. And I think now the Seattle mayor has had her fill of it since they showed up at her house.
Oh, that'll do it.
Won't it, though?
Yeah.
Everything's fine when you're part of a team. Everything's awesome, in fact, when you're part of the team.
That's right.
But when the team shows up at your house, it's not as awesome as you might believe.
No, and you talked about how they didn't do anything about it. They didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, CBS had the governor of Washington, Jay Inslee, on Sunday morning. Didn't ask him one question about it.
Didn't even ask.
Part of your state has been taken over. Not a problem?
That's just amazing.
Comment? Anything?
Is amazing. It's really unbelievable.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
So Mayor Durkin now had this to say. Here's what she says now about the Chop Chaz people.
It's time for people to go home.
I mean, she's irritated now. Now she's pissed. Because it involves her. It was fine when it was other people's homes. It's perfectly fine. But don't go to my house. No. I don't want you at my house. Described by protesters as a mansion. They didn't show the house, so I don't know what it looks like. But I'm sure she's quite wealthy. And so now that they know she's wealthy, well, they'll want to kill her. I mean, that's what they want to do is start killing people. And they're getting closer and closer to it. I give you Jeff Bezos as an example. They set up a guillotine in the front of his house.
And what is his big sin?
Well, he created Amazon, which is a highly successful company. You can't have that. Highly successful that all of us use, Keith. And guess what?
What?
He didn't do it nonprofit. He actually profits from it.
But he's one of them, effectively, ideologically.
I know he is. But he's wealthy. And so, because he's a billionaire, he's a bad person. Billionaires are evil.
I've heard that.
And it's true. So
I'm far from evil then.
Me too. Also, the statue controversy continues. Geez, the Boston Art Commission unanimously voted to to remove that Abraham Lincoln statue with Abraham Lincoln and the slave with the broken chain. They voted unanimously to remove it. So I guess they're going to. Slaves paid for it. Former slaves helped pay for that. I don't know. I don't know what to say, what to do at this point.
We're out of words, man.
You know, we had that poll we talked about yesterday where 5% of Americans think things are going very well. Who are these people? Where do you live?
Those are people who have been napping since February.
At least, if not prior to that. Oh, yeah, things are great. How could it get any better than this right now? This is wonderful. Uh-huh. Oh, Disney. Did we talk about the fact that Disney's going to change Splash Mountain?
Yeah, we mentioned that real briefly.
I think we briefly mentioned it. And it is based on Song of the South. And it's widely accepted that, you know, that's certainly not of today. We know that. It has a different feel.
And that's history.
It's history, I know. But we can't have that history anymore. So anyway, they're gonna change the theme. I think the ride remains the same. They're gonna have the plume ride still, but it'll be based on the Princess and the Frog now.
Oh,
because we can all relate to the Princess and the Frog.
Oh, you can cover
that's what they said.
A couple of bases there, right?
Yeah.
Because you got your look, it's got that hateful South thing going on there, and we get a ride for the Black Princess.
Exactly.
So
the first Black Princess.
It's a twofer.
Yes. And for those who can identify as a frog, it's got frogs.
Yeah. Because I mean, you know this.
We can all relate to that.
We're growing those,
right?
So in a lab, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Huh. Okay. Yeah. So as a threefer.
Yeah.
Frog people.
I mean, there's something for everybody.
Which, by the way, somebody pointed out the crab people did not appear in June as promised.
They're just delayed. They're delayed by the COVID-19 thing. Yeah, they'll be here. They'll be here.
Maybe it's their passport issue.
It might be.
Because, you know, we're not allowed to go to the EU right now, which I know is heartbreaking for everyone. Oh, crap, I can't go to Europe. Oh, no.
Hurts me. Just what we should do is retaliate and say, yeah, well, you stinky Europeans can't come here either. Okay? Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
I feel like they're doing us a favor.
Yeah.
Then you don't make the mistake
save some money.
Ending up over there. You know, it's like, look, watch this. I'm going to use a hateful phrase from the log ride, right? From Splash Mountain, whatever it was. Okay. Please don't throw me in that briar patch. Yes, it's a line that Pat does not recognize probably from that story, but everybody below the Mason-Dixon line, oh, I said that too, just nodded and said, I get your analogy, Keith. But yeah, so we can't travel to Europe and whatever. Big loss for us.
Yeah, it's tragic. I don't know if I'll ever recover from that, actually.
You sound broken up.
Oh, I'm heartsick. I'm just sick about it. Also, Colin Kaepernick apparently drawing some interest from multiple NFL teams, they say.
I've heard this one before.
Multiple. They all think he's great. You know, he hasn't played in 4 years, but he's only 32. So the last time he played was when he was 28 years old. And did he ever play well? He had a below average quarterback rating. And his team was something like, I don't know, 3-13 or whatever. So, of course you want him back, and you want him desperately.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, the Ravens are interested. Also, the Chargers, Texans, Titans, Chiefs, and Panthers.
Good. Didn't hear the Falcons. Keep moving.
No,
He can go anywhere else.
Who's the backup for what's his face now? Matt Ryan. Who's the backup?
Remember, we've had this conversation, and every time I tell you, you love it. Matt Schaub.
Oh, that's right. Wow, is he still there?
Yeah. And yes, I'm a nerd, and I sent a letter to Arthur Blank back in the day saying Matt Schaub should be your starter. You should trade Michael Vick while he's at his peak.
Okay.
And instead, we got rid of Schaub, and a few months later, Michael Vick was in federal prison.
So you got your starter, though, through the draft.
Yeah.
And Schaub, when was the last time he started? Man, it's been a long time, right?
I don't know. But remember, he went and did great things in Houston.
Yes, I know. That's how I know Matt Schaub. Yeah. He was really good for, I don't know, a couple of years.
But the last time he started, my goodness. I mean, probably the Raiders. He spent a year. 2014, he was with the Raiders. Matt Schaub played 11 games back then. Played for the Ravens for a couple years. Played here and there. So anyway, he's back in Atlanta. He's been in the league since 2004.
He's 39.
Yeah.
Wow. It's quite a career he's carved out for himself. Good for him. That's cool. Because at one point, I mean, he was considered he was almost on the way to elite status, if I remember right.
Yeah, he kind of fell apart there, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly not considered elite now, and I doubt he's headed for the NFL Hall of Fame. But he's had a good career.
I don't think he's headed to the NFL Hall of Fame either. I think that's a good call there.
Good, yeah. It's safe bet, you think?
Uh-huh.
All right, we got some tweets to clear up here that are always fun to start with. City Girl tweets, New York, in the last 24 hours, 4 people died from coronavirus, and 19 died from gunshot wounds. Are we supposed to wear masks or bulletproof vests? Good question. Good question.
Yeah.
Also from Hoosier Volunteer. As conservatives, we believe in the value of the individual. Let's change our all lives matter response to your life matters. Huh. Let's stop playing the progressive groupthink game.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your life matters?
Or my life?
Yeah, my life matters.
My life matters.
Oh, I like that. That's a little bit more individualistic.
Yeah, a little more selfish, too.
Look,
my life matters. I don't know about yours.
That's up to you, man.
My life matters, though. I matter to me, so...
Ruin a good thing every time.
Yeah, every time. From a damn Schiffler, we got the St. Louis couple who's changed a little bit. They were out in their front yard with this look instead of the guns.
Yeah.
Instead of an AR-15, he now has a guitar. And instead of a handgun, she's holding a microphone.
That is so good.
And the two of them are set to make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Foreigner. Way before Foreigner. They look pretty serious for a couple of musicians standing in front of their house, don't they?
I mean, it's a ballad that they're about to break into. So,
they are now under investigation.
For what?
You'll be happy to know.
For what? For being Democrats?
For brandishing firearms
on their property?
On their property.
On their...
Yeah. Yep. Ouch. I don't know. It's a crazy world. And if they go to jail for trying to protect themselves and their property, I think there's...
I just help.
It's just not America anymore.
I don't care if there's nobody on your property and you're standing out there, okay, holding your weapons. Okay, so now let's insert a crazed mob that just tore through your iron gate.
Right.
There's no scenario where it should be illegal to be standing on your front patio with your weapons.
That's what I believe as well.
Aliens?
But there is apparently...
Get here, aliens. Quickly. We'll pay you, remember? We'll pay now to be abducted. That's the meme going around now.
Do we have that meme? That's
I'm sorry.
We will
pay
literally pay you to abduct us.
Aliens?
There's a guy holding cash up to an alien saucer.
Yeah. Please make it happen.
That's funny. But so they might be prosecuted for holding guns, brandishing weapons. They were the only ones to lodge a police report, by the way, over the confrontation, because, I don't know, people were going through their place and threatening them. The claim is now by the prosecutor that they were the ones who threatened the protesters. And St. Louis prosecutor Kimberly Gardner said, I am alarmed at the events that occurred over the weekend where peaceful protesters were met by guns. Peaceful protest. They broke down the couple's gate. What are you talking about? They vandalized their property. I'm sorry, that's not peaceful. That's not peaceful. We must protect the right to peacefully protest, and any attempt to chill it through intimidation or threat of deadly force will not be tolerated. That is incredible. Make no mistake, we will not tolerate the use of force against those exercising their First Amendment rights, and we will use the full power of Missouri law to hold people accountable. That is crazy. Now, the McCloskeys, that's the couple, say that they were threatened with their lives. It was like the Bastille was being stormed, and they did tear down their gates. In their house, not just the outer gates of...
These people were not standing on the road or the sidewalk.
No, they were on their property.
In their yard.
And guess what? Missouri has a castle doctrine, meaning you can use force if there's an intruder on your property. Well, there were hundreds of intruders on their property. So I don't know how they're going to prosecute this couple, but it's despicable. It's despicable that it's even a possibility.
Martin, please turn my microphone off. Okay.
It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. We'll take 60 seconds here and tell you about rough greens anyway, and then you can simmer down a little bit. If you consider your dog to be a part of your family, then that means that you got a lot of love and affection for your dog, but it means that you're also responsible for your dog's health. And one of the things that will make your dog healthier is nutrients, which aren't in their dry kibble dog food stuff because all of that's sterilized so it can last 3 years on the shelf. So you need vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, probiotics, omega oils, all of which are contained in Rough Greens VitaSmart. This is great stuff. And I will tell you this. My dog absolutely loves this stuff. You sprinkle it on the food, mix it in a little bit, and they will gobble it down or up.
Up.
Will they gobble it up or will they gobble it down?
Yeah, the food's down. See, and they're up.
Either way, they're going to eat their food. They love it. Don't tell them it's also good for them. That'll be our little secret. Anyway, take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge. Just $14.95. You'll see the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive, again, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah, so the conflicting Missouri laws, one is the castle doctrine. You have a right to defend your property and your family. The other that conflicts with that, seemingly in this particular case, is that a citizen is committing an unlawful use of a weapon if they exhibit, in the presence of one or more persons, any weapon readily capable of lethal use in an angry or threatening manner.
I'm sorry, the castle doctrine should supersede that.
Sure should.
I think the spirit, and I have no idea, but I think the spirit of that law isn't that they're on their property in front of an angry mob. Yes, I'm going to be upset if a mob is in my yard.
Yeah.
Have you seen any images on the news lately?
Think about that. 500 people are marching through your property, right in front of your house. They've already busted down your gate, your iron gate. And now you don't know what they're going to do because you've seen on the news these angry mobs setting fire to homes, burning them down. You've seen them beat people senseless or dead. You've seen people get shot. And now here they are on your property. You don't know what the hell they're going to do. So of course you go outside to defend yourself and your property. And for that, you're going to get prosecuted by the local prosecutor.
And for what it's worth, and it may come down to this in a court of law, they didn't go outside to meet the mob. They were eating outside. They were outside already when confronted.
Wow.
So it's not like they went out there looking for trouble. Hey, if we just stay inside, maybe they'll go away.
I can't even imagine how frightening that must be. Because these mobs in the beginning, if you remember, informed everyone, hey, we're coming out to your house, too. We're coming out to the suburbs.
We come into the suburbs.
Oh.
And a week later, they did.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to be ready for you.
Yeah.
And that's when I announced that I had gone scuba diving.
Right.
And had found my weapons. So don't come to my house.
Yeah. That's right.
Nobody wants to hurt anybody. Nobody wants to have to do this. But if you and your family are threatened, of course you're going to try to defend yourself. And if that show of force with an AR-15 is enough, then great.
And
so much the better.
And if that is illegal now in this country,
we're in real trouble. Well, we're in real trouble.
Yeah.
We're already.
The ship has sailed.
Yep.
Whee.
It's
a fun ride, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we got 4th of July weekend, Independence Day coming up, right?
Yeah,
That's
we do.
Good.
That's really good.
Gonna celebrate that with. Well, there's no fireworks, and most places are really not supposed to be leaving your house without a mask on. And there's a mob most places, storming people's front gates.
Right.
But there's a lot to celebrate, kids.
Sure is. There sure is. We'll think about it.
Well,
Because
yeah.
we don't want to miss some of the things that we're celebrating, so we're going to think about it for a while.
And
we'll
I
get
can't
back
take you to a statue of the founders who made this great country because those have been torn down.
Oh, man.
So, sidewalk chalk it is all weekend long.
Yeah, and you can't go anywhere anyway because, as we said, there's the flu vaccine, or we don't have a vaccine right now.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's not the flu, of course. It's the COVID-19. So much more deadly than the flu. So
that's good, right? We got a vaccine coming. That'll save us. Right?
Yep. Here's what Dr. Fauci had to say about the vaccine.
That's one of the reasons why we have to make sure we engage the community as we're doing now to get community people to help us, for people to understand that we are doing everything we can to show that it's safe and that it's effective. And it's for the good of them as individuals
I see.
and in society
because we don't know
to
what's
take the
good
vaccine. So we have a lot of work to do because, as you well know, we've spoken about this intensively in the past, there is a general anti-science, anti-authority, anti-vaccine feeling among some people in this country.
Holy crap. There's a general anti-science, anti-vaccine, anti-authority feeling in this country. That they don't listen to their betters, their superiors, like me. Sometimes people won't listen to people who are much, much smarter than them, like I am, and I know it's good for them, and they don't. Yeah. And so it pisses me off that they're anti-science. Anti-science, really? Okay.
Really?
Tell me, as a human fetus, tell me if there are more than two genders. Anti-science. Shut up.
Yeah. So, you still going to take that? You going to take that vaccine?
I don't know.
But what happened? Just a couple weeks ago, you were asking the question, where's Fauci been?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's back.
Ta-da! He's out of isolation.
This time, he's pissed off.
He's coming with a needle, and he's chasing you around the room.
How insulting is that? So many people are anti-science, anti-authority, anti-vaccine. No, it's because we've learned not to trust you scumbags, Fauci. Because you douchebags are untrustworthy. Of course people are concerned about it, and we've seen how wrong you are most of the time. Anti-science. You don't know what you're talking about most of the time. If we believed that, you knew what you were talking about, if we had seen that, if that had been proven over time, that, wow, they've been right a lot. Instead, you've been wrong almost every time on everything. And we gave you the list last week on how many things Fauci has been wrong about over the years. But now we're just supposed to put all that aside, believe every word he says, and just be good little sheep, good little minions, and take our medicine just because he says so.
Yep. Maybe if he puts on a white lab coat, though, would that make him more believable for you? Like, it seems
well, yeah, because then you'd think, well, okay, he's a doctor.
Oh, I forgot he was a doctor.
I forgot he's a doctor. That's why they call him Dr. Fauci.
I only see him in a suit and tie. Now I get it.
Now with the lab coat. Okay. Yeah. Now I trust him now.
Right. This is the guy who doesn't wear a mask when he thinks the cameras are off. He wants you to trust him in some vaccine in your body.
He wasn't wearing a mask there.
Right.
So, I mean, now he's also saying that we could have 100,000 infected every day.
We are now having 40,000+ new cases a day. I would not be surprised if we go up to 100,000 a day if this does not turn around. And so I am very concerned.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's 1 million, billion, trillion a day. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. It could be a 700 million billion. No. 700 billion. No, 700,000 million billion.
Joe Biden, is that you?
I can't.
We talk about Texas numbers going up. Remember, they're testing everybody and their brother that enters a hospital now.
Yeah.
And I think that this goes to...
and they're trying to scare the crap out of us.
Right. I think this goes to President Trump's inartful way last week when he was like, slow the testing. You know, and people are like, oh my gosh, you don't want us testing people to find out if they have it? Well, I think so many of us have had it. And I say us. We've been sick. I think that we all have the antibodies.
Plus, there have been people who aren't, don't have any, the asymptomatic, and maybe you had it, and you don't even know you had it.
And I'm not paying a couple $100 to find out.
I do want to find out, though.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I want to.
I still want a Q-tip up my nose.
Is that what I think there's another way to do it.
They pull out part of your brain and then test that or something like that?
Stu did it, and I think he did it a different way. It wasn't the nose thing.
Oh, good.
It was a saliva test.
Did he have it?
No. Oh. No. Didn't have the antibodies. It's kind of a bummer because it's like a badge of honor. Yeah, I had it, and I didn't even know I had it. That's how tough I am.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you remember now? And I think you guys got tired of hearing me say this. Early in the year, remember how I said, man, the air vents in this place.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Everybody's getting sick
all the time.
Everybody in this building has been sick for weeks. Can we change the air filter? Which, by the way, was grotesque. But that's beside the point. Who knows? Maybe we all had that at that time.
I hope so. That would be great. Right?
Yeah.
If you already had it, you didn't even know it.
So now we're invincible.
That would be awesome.
Dr. Fauci.
I'm going to get that test.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How much is it? I heard it costs a couple $100.
I heard it was like 120 or something. But you can be reimbursed by your insurance. So.
Okay.
It might be worth it.
Yeah, let me know.
All right.
I know you had it. Everybody in the...
If I had it, I didn't give it to anybody, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's because we already had the antibodies because we had it before you did.
Oh, okay.
See, we had it in January and
right.
you got it in like March or whatever.
888-900-3393. Speaking of the masks, they're coming up with all kinds of great masks.
Lettuce guy or cabbage guy?
Uh-huh. Here's nice little mask of cabbage.
Yeah.
Or lettuce. I don't know which that is. Is it cabbage or is it
cabbage?
lettuce?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Either that or wilted lettuce, yeah. So
I just went to the grocery store yesterday, and on the way out, after not wearing a mask, I just saw that, by the way, by government order, everyone who enters must have a mask. Nobody said a word to me.
Oh, wow. Oh, look, Texas Bizzle has his mask there. It's his old underwear there. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's good. That's a good look, Texas Bizzle.
That is a great look. Yep.
Would you ever wear a cabbage mask? Because there was some discussion on Twitter yesterday that there's no way you'd be.
No, I would not
wearing that.
No, I wouldn't wear my underwear as a mask.
You would probably rather have the COVID for sure and go through that fight than to put a vegetable on your mug.
Yes. B. de Bodine tweeted out.
Yeah, that's what. That's who said there's no way you're going to be wearing.
I'm not going to wear a mask. So that was a good bet on his part.
Yeah, and then Texas Bizzle with the underwear face. Yeah.
Jeez. We got Jeffy coming up in a few minutes here.
Oh, what? And he wears his underwear on his face just for the fun of it.
Oh, he's been doing that for years.
Whether there's
had nothing to do with COVID,
pandemic or not.
Yeah,
it's just kind of
nothing to do with it.
How he does things.
All right. Well, we will be chewing the fat with him coming up in just a second. Plus, we've got this great Michael Shellenberger stuff on climate change with an actual climate change activist talking about how this is insanity, what the alarmists are doing.
Thank you.
Finally. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Some tweets from Cyberchasm. Anti-science. Is it because the scientists have been wrong about this every time they speak?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
That's why we're anti-science.
Shut up, Fauci. Fauci, shut up. Giblet Man's #1 fan. There is absolutely no chance I'll be getting the vaccine. Zero.
Yeah. Yes.
Get Off My Lawn tweets, the conflicting laws seem to encourage the killing of intruders. If I read it correctly, you can defend your property. You just can't show that you have a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when you shoot them, you got to be in a good mood.
Yeah, you can't be angry.
You can't be angry. It's like, get off my lawn or I'm going to shoot you. No.
Yeah. Tyler Morgan tweets about the chief prosecutor for St. Louis. Someone should tell Kim Gardner that Missouri's castle doctrine applies to all property, not just inside the walls of your house. 1984, Florida man. We should protest and occupy the prosecutor's house in Missouri. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Mm-hmm. Wonder how they'd love it like that if 500 people show up.
They'd invite him in.
Busting down gates and vandalizing your property. I've seen your hernia. I saw very similar weapons being brandished inside Chaz Chop. Would the McCloskeys have been better off if they donned official Antifa wear? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Antifa gear, and you're perfectly fine.
Yeah, don't go out there in an Izod shirt. Come on.
No, that's wrong. All right, that happy sound means Jeffy must be here.
Yeah, baby.
Time to chew the fat with Jeffy.
So congratulations are in order. Congratulations to John Hickenlooper. He won his primary for the Democratic U.S. Senate nomination in Colorado. He'll be going up against
Cory Gardner, who banned birth control.
Right?
Yeah.
And also congratulations to my man Burgess Owens, who
that's
won
right.
his primary.
Yeah, I'm so glad. That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
He was great. He
has to take on the Democrat now, who's in office.
Ben McAdams.
That's him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that'll happen. I mean, Burgess, don't forget, I got Burgess Owens on podcast and YouTube page. Had great things to say about lynching.
Right.
On the podcast. When you think of lynching, you know who to think of.
Democrats.
So he was... and he gave a rundown of why you should believe that as well. Big Independence Day coming up weekend. Excited? Yay! I mean, sure, we're going to have to, stay at home. Sure. There's not going to be any travel. Sure, there's no gathering.
No.
Sure, beaches are being shut down from Florida to Texas to California. Okay. I mean, California's getting ready to shut down again. We're close to another lockdown.
Yeah.
So... Yay! I mean, officials in Texas are already asking for a new stay-at-home orders.
Stop.
They want to shut it down again.
And Abbott's in the kind of mood where he might say, yeah, we need to do that. Yeah.
I know. That's not necessarily a good mood that I like from him.
No, me neither.
But there was a message that I was going to watch and listen to and learn from on the Fox Soul app. That sure you knew about and subscribed to. It was.
He was talking about it before the show started.
The Fox Soul app. Yeah. It was a live message of hope from the Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. And
that's where you go for hope, right?
Nobody delivers a message from God and hope more than the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. However, many people and groups were not happy about this event. Asking, what were they thinking? Jake Tapper was a little wound up. So was the more websites asking what was going on, what's happening, and so I'm going to break it to you. Are you sitting down? Mm-hmm. It's canceled.
Oh wow!
Oh no, the Fox Soul,
the Soul app with Louis Farrakhan. The Fox Soul app is still happening. They're just doing another show.
Oh.
The replacement show. It's funny, though, that the replacement show for Louis Farrakhan is on Saturday night, not Saturday morning. So I kind of feel like that show was going to happen anyway. But you probably can still go to the nationofislam.org and catch Louis Farrakhan.
Nothing's more Americana
than his message of hope.
Louis Farrakhan yelling in my white face.
And if you're thinking about making a pilgrimage to Coney Island for the Nathan's annual hot dog eating contest,
oh no!
Don't do it.
No.
Now it's still going to be live. They're still having it. Don't get all upset now. You can wipe your tears away from Louis being canceled, but the hot dog eating contest is still happening.
Okay, good.
But it's going to be in a secret location, and ESPN's still going to air it.
Your kitchen
at noon? No. I it's going to have 5 eaters. Look, I'm not a speed eater.
No,
I've
I
already
thought
said
No,
maybe
you're a marathon eater.
Yeah, I'm a marathon eater.
I thought maybe you were.
I'm the Kenyans of eating. Are you kidding me? I'm just not a speed eater. It's going to be 10-minute competitions. There's going to be 5 eaters instead of 10. And, of course, Joey Chestnut's going to be there and Mickey Sudo for the females. They still break it up in male and female. I don't know how much longer that's going to
Oh, yeah. Joe Biden says not under his watch.
Chestnut, he owns the world record, 74 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. That's a pretty good record.
Mm-hmm.
And
he thinks he can go 77 this time. That's what he was saying.
Good luck. With no audience, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know, no crowd. And Sudo, who's she's got her best is 41 hot dogs. 41 hot dogs and buns. The record is 45 from, and I don't have to tell you this, from Sonia the Black Widow Thomas.
All right. Yeah.
Has
right.
45.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I talked to
Big
George.
fan of Sonia the Black Widow.
The Black Widow Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah. I talked to George Shea, the creator of the contest and creator of the Major League Eating, and he was all fired up about it and excited, but he still didn't know how it was gonna go off without the crowd.
Yeah,
it's gonna be strange without the crowd there, and no date.
Wait, are we gonna have to hear them like chewing now?
I mean, is that a problem?
Yeah, I don't want to hear.
Gross.
And they don't chew; they swallow. Anyway, it just goes right down, man. Dip that dog and bun in water, and down it goes.
It does look like they don't do a lot of chewing.
There's not a lot of chewing.
There's a lot of swallowing.
Yes.
Yeah. Just slow down and enjoy your meal.
Right?
Right. Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, if you're going to eat a hot dog, enjoy it.
And how long do they have to wait before they go swimming? Anyway.
45 days. 45 days.
And no date when this is going to be out, although I cannot wait for the announcement. We announced that the show is going to happen. It's a 6-part series on Netflix on Colin Kaepernick. Colin in black and white. It's going to focus on his early life as a black child growing up with a white adopted family.
By the way, he's half white, just like Barack Obama. Is it not racist to just discount that part of you? Why is it that he's just black and so is Obama? And if you even bring up the part that, no, hey, they're half white, then you're a racist. What?
Just, dude, don't try to make sense
How
of
does this work?
It doesn't, man.
I think that's the deal, right? You can't make sense of it. You can't. There's no real logic to it.
Right.
There just isn't. But, look, it's going to be a great 6-part series. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be wonderful. Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to be able to tear me away.
I don't know, Keith.
I don't know if it's going to be on both. If it's going to be under the African-American Black Lives Matter banner and the regular newly released banner, or just, it'll probably be on every banner, right?
It
It's
will.
going to be on every banner.
Oh, you'll be forced to watch it before it'll let you go to the next screen.
And that's
not far from
probably
true.
almost true.
Yep.
The World Health Organization, the chief Tedros.
The Tedros.
What his name is?
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.
Yes, had stark words on Monday for world leaders and their efforts to contain the pandemic. He.
Were you talking
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.
Yes.
Okay.
Warned that the worst is yet to come from the pandemic if governments around the world do not adopt the right strategies. He urged countries to follow the lead of South Korea and other countries that have used contact tracing and isolation to contain the spread of the virus. No excuse for no contact tracing. If any country is saying contact tracing is difficult, it's a lame excuse, said
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of the pandemic, there's a new flu virus found in Chinese pigs. Mm-hmm. So
we're excited about that one.
It's become, by the way, it's become more infectious to humans and needs to be watched closely. It could become a potential pandemic virus. But there's no imminent threat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We heard the same thing
about
COVID-19 from the Chinese.
Chinese researchers looked at influenza viruses and found that the G4 strain of the H1N1 has all the essential hallmarks of a pandemic. And sure, pig farmers, workers showed elevated levels of the virus in their blood. Sure, close monitoring of all these human populations are urgently implemented. Sure. But there's no imminent threat.
There's no imminent threat.
So
Just remember this. July 1st.
Don't even worry
2020.
about it, okay?
No imminent threat. We'll see you here in a couple weeks with a completely different outlook.
Did I mention that the head of the WHO
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus
said at a meeting that it would send a team to China to investigate the source of the
they're good at
Rona
that.
outbreak.
Oh, they're good at that.
So
they're on it.
and they're saying that it was first detected in December. So soon we'll see that we were right, and it's been first detected in summer of 2019, which I think is probably true.
Can we get a hobby or two for China? Because it seems like all they're doing over there is making viruses for global pandemics.
Well, they're raising pigs, so
That's a problem.
don't necessarily.
They're doing such a good job at it, too.
And as predicted on Chewing the Fat podcast with host Jeff Fisher, I personally
I've
love
heard of that.
show.
Yeah, me too.
You can subscribe on almost any platform that podcasts are available. Yeah, everything like such as Spotify, radio, iTunes. I warned you, beware of wild animals thinking they could own cities. They were coming back. Remember at the start of the lockdown, animals were starting to come into the cities because people weren't out and about. And we talked about the monkeys in the macaques, the macaques, the monkeys, whatever, in Thailand. Were starting to get a little crazed because the tourists were all gone. Well, it's been a few months now, and they are out of control. People have been feeding them junk food to try to keep the peace, and the sugary diet apparently has turned them sex crazed.
Oh, no.
And now they're breeding faster than ever.
No.
So it's the city of apes, and the people are trying to take it back over. Residents are starting to put bars across their windows to stop the monkeys from getting in. The residents are mad because we're the one living in cages. What are you doing? Let's do something. So the city is starting to try to do their sterilization program and trying to get the numbers under control, but they're not happy about it. That monkeys are taking over abandoned shops in the city, and they found a cinema that has been empty because nobody's going to see the movies. They've moved in, and that's where they're leaving their dead. That's their burial ground. So good luck getting in there.
The movie theaters?
Good luck getting in
Are
there.
now
There's
monkey
a movie
burial
theater,
grounds?
monkey cemeteries.
Nice.
So that's got to smell nice.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be great at your local Cinemark when you go back where they open in mid-July supposedly? Now I bet that's off.
No way.
But you got a monkey burial site there.
What's that smell?
Yeah, it would be great.
The popcorn doesn't smell the same.
By the way, they were supposed to open, I was reading on the local Cinemark site, I think July 10th. And that's got to be off by now, right? That can't.
No,
that
no
is
way.
not going to happen.
Well, especially
it's not going to happen.
If the states start locking down for another 30 days.
Well, will
it.
movie theaters open again this year?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Cinemark is moving to late July 31st.
I mean, they just keep pushing it back, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and they'll push it back again.
Yeah. And after July, now you're looking at pushing it back to, you know what, we're just going to wait till the first of the year.
I'm sorry, Pat. Glimmer of hope here. Cinemark, July 24th. AMC, July 30th. And Regal, July 31st. So...
Yeah, I bet none of those happen.
That's not going to happen.
Not with 7,000 new infections in Texas alone yesterday.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
And, sure the death numbers are down, but who's looking at that?
Nobody. No, that
Not
used to be
one
paramount.
person.
Oh, yeah.
That used to lead the news. Yeah. And now that that's way down, they don't even mention it anymore.
Don't worry about it. Stop it. And this story brings up the question, why doesn't this happen to me? And if it did happen to me, you wouldn't know about it. So, a woman in Glendale, California, had an Amazon box delivered to her house. And we all get Amazon boxes, darn near every day.
About 3 times a day.
I mean, the Amazon driver just calls up and says, "Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Here's your stuff." She got the box.
That's why that company needs to go. That's why it needs to be abolished.
Shut it down.
They're too convenient, quite
They're
frankly.
too convenient.
In
We
fact-
like it too much.
In fact, didn't people protest Apple because their phone was too addictive?
Yes, they did.
I mean, Amazon. Planes, trains, and automobiles, right? I mean, they're into delivering everything, right? I mean, all over, and that's why they need to be shut down.
Yes.
Quite frankly.
Yes.
So she gets the Amazon box and brings it in the house and opens it up, and it's full of narcotics. Oxycodone, hydrocodone,
Oh my gosh.
morphine.
Well then.
Along with
Holy
an
cow.
invoice from the DEA. And like I said, if that happened to me, you would not be reading this story.
From the DEA.
You may know about it because I may tell you personally, but that's the only way.
And when the tracking shows up at your house, you say,
they didn't even know about it.
I didn't see it. It must have been stolen from my porch.
So many boxes.
Plus, on top of which, this
house.
also bodes well to my plan with the money. Right? You turn it back in with less of the amount.
What is the DEA?
Wow,
who are they supposed to send that to?
The package wasn't sent by the DEA. They were never in DEA custody. Everybody's backing off on this, right? Everybody's saying no.
Fast and
apparently,
furious.
there's a pharmacy in New York disposing of drugs through a Texas pharmaceutical company, and the process needs to be approved by the government, which is why the DEA form was included. But obviously, something went wrong in the delivery end.
Yeah.
And they all are saying it's a third-party shipper, it's not us, third-party shipper. So,
but the person, the resident, turned it in, huh?
Yeah.
Rather than use the
and good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them, because you wouldn't want
you wouldn't want to.
free oxyhydromorphine in the house.
You wouldn't even know what to do with that stuff if it landed at your house.
Right? No idea.
Right? No idea.
This guy's a liar. You'd be afraid to take it, right? Because that could be very, very addictive.
I wouldn't take it all at once. And who among us hasn't gone to a Bass Pro Shop? And said, man, I want to go for a swim in that tank.
I don't know.
I want to go for a swim in that tank. And of course, we have a lady who filmed it.
Got to be high.
OMG.
Treasure McGraw filmed this at the Bass Pro Shop.
Well,
and my man jumped in, gets out, and then just runs out of the store. They didn't catch him, nothing.
Really?
But it took a couple of days. He went back in the store as another customer, and they were like, hey, isn't that the guy that was in the tank? And he was arrested. Yeah.
Oh. He was arrested?
He was arrested,
Just for taking a swim?
I know.
Somebody lost a bet.
It's not America anymore.
Somebody lost a bet.
All right, thank you.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter from scruffy-looking Nerf herder. When I was a kid in the 1980s, there were Cabbage Patch Kids. Now that I have kids in 2020, there are Cabbage Mask Kids.
Yeah.
Zuzu's Pedals. Zuzu's Pedals. Zuzu's... Mary, don't you know me?
That's right.
Don't you know me, Mary? It's me, George Bailey. You say. Anyway, from Zuzu's Pedals. If you donate blood to the American Red Cross, they test all donor blood for COVID antibodies, and we'll let you know the results. Okay?
See?
I like that.
See,
all right?
I mean, that means you would be a positive case since we know you had it.
And you can get it for free if you donate to the American Red Cross and find out then if you've had it.
And big deal
I like that.
anyway, because they've already said that the antibodies weaken. And they're not sure exactly how fast they weaken. So,
yeah,
big deal.
But still, it would be nice to know if you've got them. I'd like to know. Get off my lawn tweets. Keith, as a veteran, I could tell you that there are worse places to have a Q-tip inserted than your nose. Ouch. Blaze Addict 2, they are counting the people with the antibodies as positive cases. So all of these numbers are being used to scare people.
And they're also using, according to one report that I read, they're using if I test positive, I don't have it, but I test positive for it.
Well, be specific. You testing positive for something. You're talking about the COVID, right?
I'm not. I haven't been tested. I just assume. Then when they contact trace, they count all those people.
What?
Okay, so when they reach out to the people that you came in contact with because you tested, so those people now have it as well.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Fauci is saying...
We are now having 40+ thousand new cases a day. I would not be surprised if we go up to 100,000 a day if this does not turn around. And so I am very concerned.
Or even 100,000 million a day.
Right.
Or 100,000, 700 million billion a day. Or a trillion billion jillion a day.
I want to play the Pat Gray literal game here. He said 40+ thousand. He didn't say 40,000 plus. So it's 1,040 cases a day. We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine until we get up to 100,000 billion trillion a day.
Now we have over 120 million dead from COVID.
Oh, so those are bad numbers. Those are bad numbers.
Those are bad numbers, man.
Bad stinking numbers.
There's nothing to laugh about.
No, sir. No, and I apologize for making light of that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, dang it. Right.
What's wrong?
I was looking for the other Biden thing, but
there's so many now.
You want to look for that? You want to play a Biden video clip while you find that one?
A video clip?
Oh, okay.
Like, what's the video clip?
He had a stupid press conference for the first time in like 7 years yesterday.
Some good stuff out of that press conference, too.
Oh, yeah. Goodness. Can we do the way he
play the
opened
Biden
it
press
when he
conference.
started talking about the list, the approved list?
I'm happy to take questions if you have them. He gave me a list of how to recognize. Is Alex AP out there?
Okay, so they give him a list of the reporters he should call on. You're not supposed to say that out loud. And then when he calls on the reporter, he says, is Alex AP out there? I think it's Alex with the Associated Press, you moron.
What an idiot.
He is.
Apparently he didn't have a question, so he's just going to start calling. I know you got questions for me. Where are you? Anybody got questions? No?
Play it again from the beginning, because that's amazing stuff.
I'm happy to take questions.
Watch his brain. Watch his brain here. Watch. Oh, wait, that's right. I got a list.
He gave me a list of how to recognize. Is Alex AP out there?
It's unreal. Unreal.
You literally have to write for the man.
Real.
Alex with the Associated Press. You can't just put Alex AP
I'm sure
and
they
assume
told
he's
him,
going to know.
They told him before this. He's not capable
No,
anymore
he's not.
of understanding what the deal is.
And I think he must have.
He commented about that. They asked him about his cognitive.
And so I think he drifted from the list right before the end. He got a little bold there, and
are subject to some degree of cognitive decline. I'm 65. I don't have word recollection that I used to have. I forget my train of thought from time to time. You got 12 years on me, sir. Have you been tested for some degree of cognitive decline?
I've been tested, and I'm constantly tested. Look, all I got to do is watch me, and I can hardly wait to compare my cognitive capability to the cognitive capability of the man I'm running against. Thank you so much.
I can hardly wait. Seriously.
Me too.
$50 says he couldn't remember Donald Trump's name right there. The man I'm running against.
Plus, he also said later in the day, I think, or maybe even in here, where he said he hadn't been tested for COVID. And I think that he has. I think that is what he thinks is the cognitive test. When they stick that probe up his nose, he thinks that's his brain test. I'm telling you.
Well, he's been constantly tested. He's tested
constantly, all the time.
He's constantly tested, this guy.
This is not a moment for excuses or deflections or blame game. We're in the middle of a pandemic that had cost us more than 85,000 jobs as of today. Lives of millions of people. Billions of people. Millions of jobs. And we're in a position where, we just got new unemployment insurance this morning, numbers. 36.5 million claims since this crisis began.
How many?
And almost 3 million new claims in the last week. The unemployment rate is nearing 15%, the highest it's been since the Great Depression. But I need not tell you all that.
But there's a billion, million, trillion, jillion, quadrillion dollars being spent on this stuff.
Yeah.
I want to know the tests he's had done. I prove it.
There's
Show
no
us.
way.
Show us. Yeah. Nobody follows up on that stuff, though. Nobody said, Joe, can you produce some of those tests for us?
Constantly tested, sir?
You're constantly
what does that
tested?
even mean? Yeah.
Cognitively? Really? I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I don't think he's ever been cognitively tested.
No, and that's what he gets for going off script there and calling on a Fox News reporter.
Yeah.
He got a real question.
Yeah, so he sure did.
And he did also at that press conference, which I was surprised, that he's agreed to the 3 debates like normal. And his team is like, no, please don't agree to that.
Yeah, Trump is gonna run circles around him. Seriously, I think he will.
I think so too.
I think he will.
It might get ugly.
I hope it does. I hope it gets ugly for him, for Joe Biden, because he's got to be shown for the situation he's in. People have to understand this can't be the president of the United States. This can't be him.
It just can't be.
Right.
It just can't be.
You cannot vote for this man. He's not going to make it through his first term. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
President Kamala Harris.
Well, that he's already said there's going to be a woman. And now,
yeah,
especially now, it's going to be a black woman. There's no doubt. It can't be any other way now.
It has to be.
So it's got to be Kamala Harris. I think this debate's over. It's either her or Stacey Abrams, and it can't be her, right? I mean, he can't be that stupid. Well, yeah, he can. He could be that stupid.
Or what's her face from Atlanta, right?
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Bottoms.
Yeah, that's true. Could be her.
Biden Bottoms.
Biden Bottoms. You got alliteration, too. I like the alliteration of
I like that.
So.
I like that a lot.
What a fun ride, huh?
We know how Biden feels about, for instance.
And Neil Smith, an old butt buddy. Are you here, Neil?
Butt buddy.
Neil, I miss you, man.
I miss you, man.
I miss you.
Yeah, well, he's your butt buddy.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
You guys had some good
don't
times.
you miss your old butt buddy?
Sure. Sure I do. If I had one, I'd miss him, you know. Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
This is where I just
You're the worst.
Let it play out. You guys keep going.
You just said a mouthful with, oh. Everybody knows you needn't go any further than that.
There's anything.
We know where you're going.
Is it the weekend?
All right, finishing up on our tweets here.
Yeah, let's do that, shall we?
Rants out loud. I could only imagine seeing Pat walk around with a kale mask. Yeah, that probably didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Tactical pink polo. Not unlike Plymouth Rock. The couple didn't land on the mob. The mob landed on them.
Right. Right.
Did Jeffy just say, from Tenacious 221, did Jeffy just say he's the Kenyans of eating?
Yes. I've often...
Pace yourself. Right?
Yeah.
For the long run.
Distance eating.
Distance eating.
Distance eating, yeah. Not a speed eater.
Okay.
Nope.
From the Steve 42, wait, I thought the apes taking over was supposed to happen in June.
Oh, see.
I'm not sure.
Let's see.
Well,
June,
technically...
No, that's July. See, look at that. Apes with guns on horseback. Close enough. Whatever.
Okay, close.
Yeah.
It's the first.
It's July 1st.
From Drunk Wives Matter, you always have a right to defend your life, your wife, and your property, but never in a pink polo shirt.
That's, yeah. Yeah, you gotta be better prepared, you know.
And then I like this from Steve. So is Colin Kaepernick angry at half of himself? Is that why he only takes one knee?
That's funny.
That is funny.
Here we are.
That is funny. It really is. All right, 888-900-3393. Have you guys heard the 911 call from the mother with her child in the car?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
When with the protesters jumping on her car and surrounding her, and so she calls 911 asking for help.
They're on my car. All right, they're on my car right now. So we would suggest you slowly drive through the area. Don't hit anyone with your vehicle. I cannot get out of here.
Listen to that. Drive safely through the area. Don't hit anyone with your car. So the only concern is for the idiots surrounding her car.
Not the person
not the
actually
victim.
Calling.
Yeah, not the victim.
And this is Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Right. 25,000 people live there.
Okay, patient, but I'll let the officers know, okay? Are you serious? You guys cannot. We can't do anything, ma'am.
You can't
the
do
city
anything?
told us that this is a sanctioned event.
Okay, so it's a city-sanctioned event. We can't do anything.
Well, the sanctioned event, it doesn't mean that they can attack individual
I guess
automobiles.
the sanctioned event was that, yes, they can surround your vehicle and beat on it.
I guess so.
My car. You know, this is going to get dangerous. I got a kid here. Yes, ma'am. We would suggest that you call up City Hall to let them know about your frustrations, because we're all very frustrated.
Call City Hall and let them know my frustrations. Okay, while they beat me, while they pull me out of my car and beat me to death, and my child, who knows? I don't know. Are they going to break my windows and pull me out of this car?
Yeah. Scary.
This is getting scary. They're on my car. They're on my car. And I got a little girl in the car crying. Are you kidding me?
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The mayor of Fredericksburg actually apologized.
Oh, wow.
To the protesters.
What?
Yeah.
To the protesters. Yeah. Yeah, because they were mistreated there. They were mistreated. You know what? This bizarre new tactic of surrounding a 2,000-pound vehicle really has to stop.
And
jumping on people's cars, that's unacceptable. First of all, even if the mob is not intending to hurt you personally.
You
They're
don't know
hurting
that.
the car already.
You don't know that, though.
Yeah, you don't know that.
You're scratching my paint job, too. I don't want that either.
But you don't know these people. You don't know who is in this crowd.
You have
It
no
could be
idea.
like Provo. Can we play the Provo video?
Yeah, you don't know if you're in Missouri and a crowd breaks down your iron gate. You don't know if they're there to barbecue or take your stuff.
Right. Play the Provo video. You don't know what's going to happen. Look at them surround this vehicle. They're honking. Get out of the way. What happens? Protester shoots at the car twice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In Provo, Utah?
Provo, Utah. Watch this. Slow it down. We're going to slow
Right
down
there.
the video here. And
there he is.
Oh, you didn't have the watch this. See? Look, there's the protester with a gun. Look, there he is. Peaceful protester surrounding the car, puts 2 caps in the vehicle. You don't know who these people surrounding you are. You know that you are in a road and you need to get out of there. Come on.
That's unbelievable.
Madness.
I'm not stopping for him.
I'm not either. And I we've talked about this before. I'm not stopping. I'm not. If you're in my way, I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't realize this. Daniel just told me that the lady, the driver was hit and went to the hospital and is fine, but was shot.
My gosh.
I can't.
Oh my gosh. In BYU land.
But I just want to say
that's Cougar Town right there.
I just want to say on behalf of the city, we're sorry to the protesters.
Peaceful.
Yeah, I'm sorry that they frightened you by driving through your mob there. That's really despicable of that person to keep driving.
It's going to be great when
look at this.
There's more other video out there of the guy with his son in the car that ran over a guy, and then he had a person chase him that thought the mob said that he stole the car, which wasn't true. And the guy's on the 911
How would the mob
call.
know if he stole the car? Come on now, please.
I mean, it's I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping.
Unbelievable.
I don't want to hurt anyone.
I don't either.
But I'm not stopping.
Right.
It's
But
not going to happen.
I don't even want you hurting my car. Again, I'll say it again. It's not even okay that you're jumping on my car, scratching up my paint.
Well, we all don't have new Volkswagen bugs, Pat. Okay,
Or-
Mr. I don't want anybody scratching my bug. Okay,
I don't care if I have a bug
Did the
or a
water-
Renault.
I know. It
or
doesn't matter.
A Yugo.
Did the water
Or a
spill out?
Mercedes Benz.
car.
It's my car. I don't want you scratching it up or beating on it.
I'll scratch it myself.
Jeez. This whole thing. And if she would have stopped there,
Done.
would he have shot her in the head?
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Would they have dragged her out of the car?
I don't want
Probably.
to. I'm not going to find out.
That's crazy.
And-
That is
and-
just crazy.
And we should watch these 2 stories that happened at the same time. Let's see what happens to Provo protester with the gun, and what happens with the couple in Missouri defending their home.
Right. I'm guessing since he was masked up, they won't even find Provo protester with a gun. He won't even be found.
But now, when the protesters are around your bug and they're shaking it and stuff, are you concerned that the water might fall out of your flower vase that you keep right in the middle? Is that the big concern there?
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Sure, you don't want that.
Then it spills on the carpeting in the car.
Right?
Off the air, Keith and I were talking about, speaking of Utah, we were talking about...
Crap, hold on. Off the air conversation? Uh-oh, where's this going?
We were talking about Utah and growing cotton. In the
Dixie.
early days.
Yeah, St.
So
George.
I just got an email yesterday from a guy that lives there that says they're coming for it.
Yeah, they are. There's now a petition online to support the name Dixie, which is when Brigham Young moved to southern Utah during the Civil War to grow cotton because there was no more cotton coming from the south to the north. I thought it was a brilliant idea. It didn't grow there, but that's how they got that nickname. There's Dixie National Forest. That whole region is called Dixie in southern Utah. It's they're coming for everything. I mean, the letter S, because South starts with an S, is next.
I don't think Brigham Young moved to southern Utah, but he sent people down there.
No, he moved there.
I've been to his house.
He did live there?
Yeah, he had a house
in southern
there.
Utah?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, something I didn't know.
Yeah,
I thought he lived in Salt Lake City.
I've spent some time in St. George, Utah.
Really?
So,
okay,
it's a beautiful.
Been to the
area.
Beehive House in Salt Lake City?
There's so many jokes with that.
No, I haven't.
There.
No,
I want to go there so bad.
Well, let's hear them. No, let's hear what you got.
I was just wondering which wife he had living there.
One of 30 or something.
I think something like that. Yeah, was it 38 or 39?
I don't know.
I don't know what number it was.
I don't know. Also, we've got what radicals want to do if they're inside police cars. So this is not just jumping on cars. Now they're inside the police car because they've been arrested or apprehended in some way, and we're gonna find out from them what they intend to do.
If you go to a riot and you get arrested, pee in the cop cars, they can't press any charges on you, It's not illegal.
Oh my gosh.
And once a cop car is peed in, it goes out of commission for cleaning. If everyone who got arrested peed in the cop cars, there would be no more cop cars.
I got news for you. That's not true, but go ahead.
Yeah, what if you got a shy bladder, though? I mean, you're in the back of a police car.
It appeared though someone peed down her eyebrows.
No, what was that?
That's good.
And that was a her. So we agree that was a her?
You know,
because that was my next question.
As soon as I said it, I thought
stand or sit?
Probably not.
Because I can't tell with her.
It's probably not.
That was an interesting individual there. We'll say that.
I like that.
Just an interesting individual.
Yep. All right.
Why?
Let me tell you about Omega XL.
I don't know.
When you have pain, you just want it to go away. And the best way to do that is with something natural, that you don't have a drug that you're continually taking with all kinds of side effects. Omega XL is backed by 35 years of clinical research. It goes right to the heart of the inflammation and calms it down. Pain relievers and topical rubs just mask the problem. Omega XL neutralizes the inflammation that causes pain and stiff joints and muscles and all that. Plus, no fishy aftertaste, which is really important to me. So to get you started, when you order one bottle of Omega XL, you'll get a second bottle for free right now. Visit OmegaXL.com/Pat for more information. OmegaXL.com/Pat.
Pat Gray is here.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I thought there was more. No. Pat Gray is here. And? What's your point? Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
No, I listened to your show.
What do you mean by that? Yeah, this is like, it's that exactly. Yeah, I heard your show today. Yeah. Okay. Pat Gray is here. And?
Hey, Pat Gray.
All right, 888-900-3393. We've got to talk about this climate change activist. I mean, this is a solid climate change activist since he was 16 years old. He's 49 now. He's been doing this a long time.
Look at that.
And he knows what he's talking about. This guy has won, like, green awards. He supported the Sandinistas in Managua, Nicaragua. Right. If you could believe it. Oh. He supported the Sandinistas. Again, in Managua, Nicaragua. So, I mean, he's like for socialist revolutions. Now he's saying he apologizes on behalf of environmentalists everywhere. I would like to formally apologize for the climate scare we created over the last 30 years. Wow. Climate change is happening. It's just not the end of the world. It's not even our most serious environmental problem.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is awesome. I may seem like a strange person to be saying all this. I've been a climate activist for 20 years and an environmentalist for 30. But as an energy expert, asked by Congress to provide objective expert testimony and invited by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, at the UN, to serve as expert reviewer of its next assessment report, I feel an obligation to apologize for how badly we environmentalists have misled the public. Is that amazing? This guy's name is Michael Shellenberger.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Zeha Beetle.
No, it's not Zeha Beetlebaum or Beetlejuice.
I was with you on that.
Yeah, it's Shellenberger. And here's a few things he says. Humans are not causing a sixth mass extinction, which is what they're saying all the time now. The Amazon is not the lungs of the world.
Wow.
Climate change is not making natural disasters worse. We've been trying to say that for how long? Fires have declined 25% around the world since 2003. The amount of land we use for meat, humankind's biggest use of land, has declined by an area nearly as large as Alaska. This is like heresy to climate change people.
I want to ask you a question, though. Is this guy still alive?
So far?
I think they Forbes took down his...
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. He wrote an article, and Forbes printed it, and then they took it down.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it's circulating everywhere else, so, message got through.
This is I mean, there's a lot more here that we will get to.
This guy deserves it.
Not even scratch the surface of what we need to be talking about today. This is, I mean, I got this handful of stuff here, plus a desk full of other stuff, and it's all fantastic.
I've got fat over here still.
And
I've got fat over here
and
still.
all this stuff was printed up on trees from the Amazon.
That's right. And by the way, there's only 3 trillion more of them. Ha! Put that in your pipe.
Pat Gray.
Welcome. 888-933-93. Got some tweets here. Low brain activity. Tweets, the lawyer couple in St. Louis should just roll with it. We were following Joe Biden's advice about standing on your porch and firing a shot into the air. Yeah, but that was with a shotgun.
Right.
Get a shotgun.
Yeah.
Get a shotgun. What he had was an AR-15. That's a military. That's an assault rifle.
Right, that's a weapon.
You kill people with that. That's all that weapon does is kill.
And you could tell they were angry.
Weapon of war.
Yeah, right. That's
Weapon
right.
of war.
Weapon of war. You use that in Afghanistan, not in St. Louis, Missouri.
Thank you.
Vicky Johnston tweets, future patrons at a certain movie theater, I don't think I want any popcorn tonight. I'm kind of put off by a strange, funky monkey smell.
Funky monkey.
Equus Livets 10, that Biden-Trump debate is going to be great and cringy at the same time. Should be a fun night. Should be 3 fun nights. I think they've signed on for 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Amy,
but if it turns into a sad one after the first one.
Maybe it'll go away. We'll see. Amy, what's her face? When Joe says he's constantly tested, he means when he figures out how to turn his alarm off every morning. COVID Bullet 23, Biden Bottoms. Sounds like the name for the diaper Biden is probably wearing.
Yes. All new super absorbent Biden bottoms.
I like it.
From Jeff, defund Congress, not police. Yes.
Yes.
Hear, hear. Amen. Nations Under says, I say they designate 1 cop car for transport all night. Leave the
urine. Yeah.
The urine call. Yeah. Okay. Call it Chaz on Wheels or the Chop Wagon.
Chop Wagon.
I like it.
That's good. It's good stuff. All right. We were in the middle of this Michael Shellenberger discussion where he's taking on the environmentalists.
Can't delay. After you say Michael, you can't pause because then we're just hearing Beetlejuice guy in our heads.
Well, this is not him. This
Okay.
is not. This
All
is
right,
not
I'm
an Al
glad-
Sharpton.
How do you
I'm
know?
glad we deleted that. Yes.
We're positive about that?
Are we
Positive,
sure? People
yes.
change.
Okay.
Are you
Right.
dead naming?
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I am not. But we left off with fires declining 25% around the world. This guy is a big-time climate activist. He's
Yeah.
been doing it for 20, 30 years.
This is great.
And now he's saying, this is not catastrophic, and we're not going to die from this. He says the buildup of wood fuel and more houses near forests, not climate change, explains why there are more and more dangerous fires in Australia and California.
Huh.
Okay? Things that we've been saying. Carbon emissions are declining in most rich nations and have been declining in Britain, Germany, and France since the mid-1970s. Netherlands became rich, not poor, while adapting to life below sea level. Below sea level. We produce 25% more food than we need, and food surpluses will continue to rise as the world gets hotter. Another thing we've said all along, warmer weather grows food.
Also, we adapt.
Right.
We adapt as humans.
Wood fuel is far worse for people and wildlife than fossil fuel. And preventing future pandemics requires more, not less, industrial agriculture.
Wow, I'm not sure what to do with this. An intellectually honest leftist?
It's hard to
This
believe.
is not computing.
Seriously hard to
I mean,
believe.
he is, look, any awards he has,
They're
those
gone.
are gone.
Yeah, they're gone. They'll withdraw them.
No way.
His statue that was built, or will be built, being torn down before it's already been built.
Those plans are...
Yeah, it's over.
They've ripped up the plan.
Yes. They've torn down in their minds the statue that they built for him. He says, I know the above facts will sound like climate denialism to many people, but it just shows the power of climate alarmism. In reality, the above facts come from the best available scientific studies, including those conducted by or accepted by the IPCC, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, and other leading scientific bodies. I mean, this is just incredible stuff. Here's some highlights from the book, and the book is called. I'm just drawing a blank. Apocalypse Never. The book is called Apocalypse Never. He says factories and modern farming are the keys to human liberation and environmental progress. The most important thing for saving the environment is producing more food, particularly meat, on less land. The most important thing for reducing air pollution and carbon emissions is moving from wood to coal to petroleum to natural gas, which is what we've done, and then he says to uranium. So he's talking about nuclear fuel, which is brilliant. 100% renewables would require increasing the land used for energy from today's, oh my gosh. Okay, so the land used for energy today is 0.5%. We would have to, if we do 100% renewables, it would increase to 50%. We should want cities, farms, and power plants to have higher, not lower, power densities. Vegetarianism reduces one's emissions by less than 4%. Greenpeace didn't save the whales. Switching from whale oil to petroleum and palm oil did. Free-range beef would require 20 times more land and produce 300% more emissions. This is just, I mean, everything they say is being destroyed by this guy. Greenpeace dogmatism worsened forest fragmentation of the Amazon, and the colonialist approach to guerrilla conservation in the Congo produced a backlash that may have resulted in the killing of 250 elephants. Okay, so on and on and on this goes.
I mean, he's a deep dive.
Deep, yeah.
So good.
I mean, if you're interested in the climate change thing, you would love the book Apocalypse Never. I like the interview. Stu did an interview with him last night on his show on Stu Does America, and it was such great information. I had to have the book, and so I downloaded it real quick. I haven't read it completely yet. Well, I haven't read it at all yet, but I'm going to.
Which means you haven't read it completely. That's not a lie.
It's true. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. It was a true statement from the beginning. All right.
Let's see. Oh, by the way, they did arrest somebody in Provo for that shooting.
Good.
Yeah, it's a 33-year-old resident of Salt Lake City.
White or black? Red, purple,
his
green?
His name is Jesse Taggart.
But it doesn't say his race. Okay.
That means he's African American.
Probably. Yeah, because it would have said a white assailant.
I don't know.
Did they say how the woman who got shot in her car, she's okay? She's fine?
I just got that information from Daniel.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, he's white.
Oh, he's a white guy.
Guy. Yep.
All right.
Like I said, it means he's African American. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, got a tweet here from Ryan. This season, for every game, our student athletes' helmets will have a BLM sticker. Oh, good. The Memphis Tigers.
Oh.
Do we have that shot?
That's exciting.
The Memphis Tigers are going to have a little BLM sticker. All in together.
They took that M from Memphis. And
Memphis football.
They made it the M of BLM.
Isn't that wonderful?
All right, so we're all in this with a Marxist organization together.
Play ball.
Play ball, y'all.
That's so great. That's why it's so great when everybody says, they're into Black Lives Matter, the organization. Well, I don't think anybody disagrees with the sentiment. Black lives, of course, they matter. Absolutely, they matter.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter, the organization, no thank you.
My life matters.
There you go. Nike. This couldn't happen to a better company.
Okay, what do we got?
They lost $790 million in the last quarter.
Wait, what?
46% plunge in North American sales. Good!
How is that possible? They have so many stores that are empty.
That's right.
They're completely sold out in theirs. Oh, well, except I think the people that took the items forgot their wallets.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they all forgot their wallet.
Symbolic
so wait a
taking.
minute now.
Right.
When are these numbers from?
The quarter ending May 31st, which translated to a loss of 51 cents per share.
Uh-oh. So that hasn't even calculated the looting.
No. No, it hasn't.
You mean the symbolic taking?
The symbolic taking.
Okay.
That now people don't need shoes.
Revenues tumbled.
They're not going to buy them now either.
Their revenues tumbled 38%. This is so great. With Nike being the progressive behemoth they are.
The home to the Marxists.
So great. And listening to Colin Kaepernick on every issue. God, the American flag can't go on your shoes. No, it can't be an American flag. It's not about the flag. I just don't want the flag on your shoes. But it's not about the flag. Okay. A bright spot, apparently, for Nike was online sales. Digital sales increasing 75% during the quarter. Well, that sucks. But a $790 million overall loss. Maybe you shouldn't have gotten into bed with Colin Kaepernick.
I'll be doing that.
Maybe. Pathetic.
Their arguments for that, though, has been that's been a successful relationship.
They say it has, but I don't know. You lost $790 million in a quarter. That doesn't seem very successful to
we
me.
planned on losing $1 billion, though. So we're good.
We actually came out ahead. All right. Well, if that's the way they calculate that, that's fine.
That's Joe Biden math. You got to spend money in order to save money, right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, Joe.
Also, we're being told it's time for a new national anthem. We're getting that from every single direction, including Yahoo and their music editor. Music editor Lindsay Parker argued in a column Wednesday it might be time to finally replace the Star-Spangled Banner because of its blatantly racist connotation.
What?
Well, I guess they're talking about the third verse. I guess.
What does it say?
Because we always hear that.
Where nobody has ever sung the third verse. There's not a single person in the world who even knows there's a third verse in the national anthem.
I would venture to say that, the percentage of people that even know there's a third, let alone anyone who's sung it.
Right.
I mean, anyone who's sung it is got to be close to zero. Right? I mean, zero.
Well, has it ever been sung at an event? No.
I don't think so.
Of course not.
We barely want to get through that first one.
That's for sure. It's a tough song.
Let's go. Let's get to the game.
The third verse goes, "And where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more. Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave." That's the...
Oh, my gosh.
That's the big...
it's all your reaction.
From the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. I mean, just because it says the word slave, is that, I guess it's
inherently racist then?
I guess so. Apparently. We can't even know that there used to be slaves.
Well, actually...
shouldn't we be reminded so that we never do that again? And we're doing it again.
Yeah.
In certain corners of the world.
I'm pretty sure there's more slaves now than there ever been.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they say. 888-900-3393. What would you replace the Star-Spangled Banner with?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know.
God Bless America, maybe?
God? You're going to use God?
Yeah, that won't be acceptable.
That's not going to fly.
I mean, they all mention what's-his-face's socialist song, right?
Oh, this song.
Waves of Grain.
Which, absolutely not. No, that.
How about Imagine? Look at that. See, celebrities can sing Imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Communist Manifesto. Let's replace it with that.
Above us only sky.
Yeah, that's
Imagine all the people
not singing this.
Living for today.
Yeah.
Don't even think about tomorrow or yesterday. Don't even think about it. She's hideous. Imagine there's no countries.
It isn't hard to do.
Yeah, it actually is for me. Idiots. Who's she? Pause it for a second. Who was that? She's actually has a good voice.
I know. I don't know.
Sia. It's Sia. Oh, okay. I should have known that. How did I not know it was Sia?
How do you spell Sia?
S-I-A. All right.
Seriously, you don't.
Thanks for the education.
Duh.
I'm just playing dumb.
Stupid.
Jeffy, come on.
All right, let's see the rest of it.
Oh, really?
Oh, are we done? And who's this in the mirror?
Sia.
Sia?
Sia's still,
I don't think that's Sia anymore.
You may
that's Sia right there.
I'm a dreamer.
Wait, pause it for a second. Yeah. Is that Linda Carter? The old Wonder Woman?
No, Sia.
I think it is.
That's Linda freaking Carter. What are you doing singing Imagine?
She's dying to be noticed, man.
Oh my gosh, that's unreal.
Dying to be noticed. She doesn't look bad.
Unreal.
I've seen some pictures.
No, she looked pretty good.
I've seen some pictures on Pinterest. Anyway.
But I'm not the only one.
There's Sia again.
I hope someday.
There's Sia again.
That's Sia right
Sia
there.
just doing the rest of
She's
these. I
everywhere.
guess.
Why don't we?
Good job, Sia. Oh, hey, Sia.
Oh no, we're gonna go another
I
verse.
wonder if you can.
No, I can't. I really can't.
For greed and hunger.
Get a comb,
No kidding.
dude. Please. That guy's the biggest communist on the planet.
Ruffalo, man. That guy.
Oh, he's terrible.
Sia looks different there.
I'm a dreamer.
Who are these people?
Choreography.
Not the only one.
Those are the sisters of Sia.
Sister Sia.
No, you're not the only one. There's Karl Marx too, and Friedrich Engels.
Look at the fan behind her. Looks like little horns. that is poor planning right there, especially when it was your video, gal, right? Isn't that her?
Yeah, Gal Gadot.
So what's the other option, Jeffy? You said this land is my land.
Yeah.
This land is your land. Yeah. Has
Yeah,
the,
another communist song.
Yeah. So this song is my song. Now, I'm gonna take it. Is that okay?
I mean, you couldn't do Battle Hymn of the Republic.
No,
because that's Civil War overtones.
Ooh.
I mean, we couldn't do the it's
can't
an
do God Bless.
Australian band. You can't do Highway to Hell.
Although that's the highway we're on.
That's accurate.
Or Flirting with Disaster by Molly Hatchet.
Oh, well, there's an American band, right?
You know?
Molly Hatchet, is that American? Yeah, I think they are. I don't know.
I'm
I
not a
don't
big
know that
Molly
there's
Hatchet
a good,
fan.
There's
I
not
don't
a
know.
good option left here.
There's not. What's his face? God Bless the USA guy.
Oh, yeah.
Lee Greenwood.
Lee Greenwood.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
But again, God is in that.
Yeah.
Right.
And that wouldn't be acceptable.
And also, I mean, if the kickoff time is 8 o'clock, you don't want to be there at 9:30 going,
guy's still singing.
When's this game going to
I
start?
was fortunate enough to see Lee at one point at an appearance where the music didn't play, and he just did it a cappella.
How long did that one go?
And was it fantastic?
It was fantastic.
Was it great?
It was great
Yeah.
because we had to wait to see if we could get the music, which never happened.
Oh, no.
So then we had to, then Lee decided that he was going to give it to us just a cappella. He could just do it without the music. So did I say it was great?
Yeah, I think you did.
I think so.
You said it
You've
was
already
great.
committed to that. Yeah.
Because I know when Glenn did the Rally for America in West Virginia, and he came and sang, and the thing had already run overtime a little bit, and then Lee Greenwood came on stage. And
So it
he
ran
just finished up 15 minutes. He started in 2003. He finished about 15 minutes ago. I mean, it was agonizing. Oh, we wanted him to stop.
Yep, and we're still in the Middle East, so it worked out nicely.
It did. It really did.
I mean, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, yeah. And it's a great song. It's a great song.
I know.
Blah, blah, blah. We got to make all the disclaimers. Blah, blah, blah,
Just
blah,
end
blah.
the freaking song.
We want to go home. Can we please go home?
I didn't realize there were 4,000 stanzas for this song, but apparently so. We got to all of them.
And the thing is, we knew the one song from Lee Greenwood. I knew one, but he did like 84 songs. It was.
Did he knock out a couple of new songs he'd been working on for you?
Yes, some new and some old, and then of course God Bless the USA, which lasted a week and a half,
And some B-sides, right? You got those in there.
B-sides, yeah.
Yes. All right, let's finish up here with a guy making some sense. We got this guy in Britain talking about how pathetic some of the things going on in Britain and the world
College
are.
kids especially,
Check this out.
What baffles me is this fashion for stifling language and opinion comes from the left. Liberals. Students saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Students are meant to be like Rick from The Young Ones, not Mary White House. All this youthful energy, concentrating on stopping debates rather than winning them. No wonder being right-wing is the new rock and roll on uni campuses. That's how you rebel these days. You vote Tory. It's mental. Being a student used to be pound a pint down the union. Now, the NUS has raised alcohol prices to curb binge drinking. You've got students calling for statues of dead men to be torn to the ground because they were colonialists. I'm not being funny, but who wasn't? It's not an honour to have a statue in your image or a building in your name 100 years after your death. You're dead. It's no longer an honour, it's a reminder. They're reminders of how we got to where we are. Our history is being erased by students. Some of them history students. It's revisionist, it's Orwellian, all for fear of causing offence. Literature,
And it doesn't
if
matter.
you're offended by To Kill a Mockingbird because it uses language of its time that is no longer acceptable, if you can't make that distinction, then you're a idiot. And you have no appreciation of context, and you have no place doing a literature degree. And yet certain unis, they're putting trigger warnings on these novels because they may cause offence. How many times do you hear that? This was edited, censored, banned because it may cause offence. I'm sorry, but no one has a right not to be offended because offence, it's entirely subjective. It's bollocks. No, I'll tell you what it is. It's utter, absolute is what it is. Arrest me.
Don't tempt them.
Yeah, no kidding.
They
Feel
will.
better now. Okay.
Feels better now. Oh.
Do we know who that guy is? Just some random
I don't know.
British
I guess
guy?
he makes a lot of these videos. I don't know.
Michael.
Z-Hob, yeah.
Beetlebaum.
Yeah.
Beetlebaum.
We bleeped out him saying wank. I love that. He just yells out, wank! All right, well.
Okay.
Yeah, he has made a lot of them, though. He does make the rounds every so often.
Is he a journalist? Is he some...
I think he is. I can't remember now. It's been a while since I've seen one of his videos, but he has made the rounds in the past as well. And he, he's making sense.
Mm-hmm.
He's not saying,
Which will get you
which
pulled
doesn't
off.
get you anywhere.
And that'll get you pulled off of social media.
You talk about trying to be logical and explain that and the statute. Nobody
They don't wanna
cares.
hear
They
it.
don't care.
They don't care. Yeah, they really
and
don't.
you're just wasting your breath. But you have to say it, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
Yes. They're not going to listen, but you do have to say
it's
it.
very frustrating. I'll tell you another thing that's frustrating. This is the time of day when they pop up when Hillary's getting ready to do the 4-minute buzz.
Yeah.
Although Hillary's not here.
Right.
And
so you turn around.
I turn around and it's like Jason.
It's Jason Buttrell.
That cannot happen anymore.
Oh, man.
I don't know if you noticed, but Hillary cannot take any time off anymore. Right? The 4-minute buzz, we've looked at the dailies. Ratings are down. Yeah, through the...
Are they? Through the floor?
I'm afraid to touch this camera in here to show what you're talking about. There we go. See, now it's not Jason anymore. It doesn't work.
It's a good point, though.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffy.
We're going to complain about something.
I'm going to complain about another thing, too, and that's, it's bad enough that we're tearing down the statues and trying to change our history. We're changing our culture. We're changing our traditions.
And Barack knows that we are going to have to make sacrifices.
Making sacrifices.
We're going to have to change our conversation. We're going to have to change our traditions, our history. We're going to have to move into a different place.
What she didn't say there was that we're going to have to change our cartoons, even our cartoons are going to have to change.
Everything.
I love this. Pat had, who posted, is it Burbacks? That posted a picture of Paw Patrol on Facebook a couple weeks ago? They removed it.
Facebook took down his picture of the items on his desk, which were show the first picture first if you have it.
He had that. Okay,
there you go.
so
Ta-da!
it's Paw Patrol.
And he just says, "Hey, look, I've got the Paw Patrol gang, at my office. Everything's good."
Wow.
And not anymore because they took it down.
I'm sure that was just an algorithm.
Yeah, I'm sure. Paw Patrol was offensive because of the German Shepherd dog, who is a police officer, and he's kind. And we can't have kids see kind police officers anymore. Is that, we're going to have to move into a different place.
We're definitely doing that.
Yeah, we sure did do that. See you tomorrow. Finish off the week.
All right, tomorrow's Friday.
On a Thursday, which is really kind of a Friday.
Only on the Blaze Radio Network.